Welcome back to Western Slope Realty, where we mix bold real estate truths with a little sass and a whole lot of land.
I'm Brittany, your sassy land scout who can spot a septic issue from a mile away. We can spot that shit.
We nailed that shit. And I'm Serena, ranch raised, realtor certified, and emotionally attached to irrigation ditches.
I can't believe that.
Oh my gosh.
It's in your blood.
Oh, for real. I have some stories with irrigation ditches.
Which is exactly why we're doing what we're doing. Today,
And if you're up on the higher areas, that's where you get the leeches, where it's colder.
ew.
Yeah, you got to check them britches.
The tick season is really bad right now up there on the Mesa. I hate it. Today, we're not here to talk about this. We're not here to talk about ticks or leeches. We're here to talk about tiny towns where the air is clean, the neighbors wave, sort of.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they wave.
Yeah.
And the real estate is still the Wild West.
Oh my gosh. Did
Unbelievable.
I show you my great-grandma's arrowhead collection?
No.
There's so much land out here where people have not touched for 100 years at least. I mean, you can literally find arrowheads still.
Wow.
There's just untouched land all over.
Wow.
Okay, so
Unbelievable.
from Colburn to Crawford, Hotchkiss to Natarita.
Natarita. Natura.
Not Natarita. There's beauty in bargains, but you better do your homework.
Oh, I believe it. Come on, do some research. So, for our Steeped in History today, that's where we want to start.
Yeah.
I think we're going to head down to Crawford, Colorado. What do you
Oh
think?
my gosh, I love Crawford. It's
Oh
so
my
beautiful.
God, population, barely 400. But don't let that size fool you, girl. Man, they got big western roots, don't they?
Oh, for sure. Home to cowboys, coal miners, and at one time, Joe Cocker. Do you know who that is?
I don't.
He was a famous rock star. He wrote for the Beatles.
When you said was, I'm assuming he's dead. Okay, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He had a ranch outside of town with a music studio on it.
Wait, I remember hearing about that ranch.
Yeah.
That
oh
went
my
up
gosh.
in 2022?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. 22 or 2018.
I think I remember what you're talking about. 18 million, 316 acres, right? Is that the one?
Yes.
It's like
Oh my
that
gosh.
English manor. They fucking
Yeah.
dropped it from England into Crawford, Colorado.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Stunning. You got to look it up. Look at these photos. Okay, so this is something, he left behind quite a collection, and it's being sold. The prized art, collectibles, and a snooker table.
What is snooker?
I don't know. I got to look it up. But
Okay.
it once belonged to King Edward the Seventh, and it's certified owned by British royalty.
Whoa.
And he used to play snooker with the guys who were a dog trainer, a lawyer, an elk rancher, and a rock star.
Whoa.
Like, that's like a guy walks
What
into
a
a
pat
bar.
rack.
Yeah, okay, now I got to look up snooker.
Yeah, we don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I do think with 15 beds and 15,000 square feet, what would you do with all that?
Oh my gosh. Well,
I feel like we never see each other if we live there.
I would turn
15,000?
it into a B&B or
Oh,
something
like
like
half
that.
of it?
Or like a hunting ranch, because
Oh.
they could sleep out of there, because there are all those, those other properties where you can buy like a 5-acre parcel, and then you get to have access to all of the surrounding areas and all that. Yeah, there's a lot of cool like hunting places.
And riddle me this, with 316 acres, do you think they'll subdivide?
Ooh, I hope not. Not there. And that's where conservation comes in. If it has not been put in conservation, that's something that could happen, and then they could never divide it. That's what I would do. Okay, snooker. It's on a rectangle green baize covered billiards table with 6 pockets, cue sport, 22 balls, white cue ball. So it's like pool on steroids. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see this. Yeah, look it
Weird.
up. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I wonder if that's where this saying come where they say like, I got snookered.
You know,
Is that a
Crawford,
saying?
I don't know.
Okay.
I got snickered. Well, there's those Snickers commercials. Now we're
Snickered?
getting off track.
Anyway, okay.
But
Yep.
we should
Yep.
know that Crawford started in the 1800s as a supply center for the people up there, which is super cool. And then they paved Highway 92. Dun, dun, dun.
Highway 92.
Man, the state. They
Oh
really
my
just do us
gosh.
dirty sometimes.
So what were they supplying? What would they supply for? Was it like
Oh my
mines?
gosh. Yeah, they had mines. They're actually a real cow town. You can still watch cattle drives through the town.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love. I live on the Mesa, and that's one of the best parts about living up there is the traffic, that cow traffic.
Oh.
You just stop your car, put it
Yeah.
in park. I love
I
it.
live in Mac in a road jam. What is it called?
Traffic jam.
Traffic jam.
Oh my gosh.
Is when,
She's there, I promise.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm fried.
It's been a
From
long
Red
day.
Day.
Yeah, we had Red Day today.
Yes.
So it was kind of a big deal.
We built beds.
We made 20 beds today.
Built.
Built them.
Yeah.
Yeah, actual
Built.
carpentry.
Anyway, yeah. So in Mac, when we get a traffic jam, it's because they're moving sheep on the road. Mm-hmm. And you're stuck.
Oh, sheep.
Sheep, cows. Oh, sheep. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Moving on to our different small towns. Let's try to stay on track.
All right. Crawford's known for its rolling hayfields, views of Needle Rock. There's a brewery there. There was.
I think that there's more than it like being hayfields today.
Oh yeah. No nonsense neighbors.
I believe that.
And
I bet you some of them don't wave.
Yeah.
Unless they know you.
And some people are moving there to live off grid.
Which is a totally cool thing to do.
Yeah.
If I was savvy enough, I might look into that and be a daydreamer or whatever they're called.
If I
Doomsdayer.
didn't like running water so much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if I didn't just
I
love
gotta
my
shower.
luxuries.
I know. I could go camping as
Or
long
want
as
to
it's...
fiddle with like those solar panels. I'm out. You know,
No.
That's where you lose me. So let's
It's
move
the
on.
composting toilets that get me.
Oh God, those are so gross. It's like we don't want hepatitis A.
Is it? That's how you get hepatitis
Ugh,
A? I
through
guess
shit.
there would be an A because there's a C. So,
Yeah.
okay. Let's talk numbers. Homes in Paonia and Hotchkiss are seeing price spikes. They are up 15 to 20% in the last year alone. Why, you ask? Do you ask why?
Why?
Oh, good question. Fruit orchards, artist vibes, and just enough hipster without the HOA.
Whoa, we love a no HOA. Unless it's an irrigation HOA and they're giving us some shares. That's
Unless you
okay.
like a clean yard without like cars on blocks, then
That's
an
true,
HOA is kind of
too.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, Natarita, Nucla, prices are low. You can
Yeah.
get acreage there that you pay for like a studio apartment in Denver.
That's insane.
But don't expect Whole Foods and don't expect
You get your Whole Foods out of your garden.
a shitter unless it's compost.
Oh. Or septic. Yeah. Speaking of septic, did you know that you are not supposed to use bleach if you have a septic, like maybe once a month, because it kills the good bacteria that breaks up all of the literal shit?
Oh no!
Yeah. So you should put a tablespoon of yeast down your sink or toilet, whatever, like once a month. And that helps with the good bacteria that breaks it up in your tank. And then it flows well to your leach field.
Wow, and then I guess it's able to break down better too, which is overall better for the whole septic system.
Yeah. And you should still get your septic tank pumped every 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, people.
You got to get
Take
rid of that shit.
out.
For sure.
For sure.
Okay.
So, what are we learning? Do your due diligence.
Do it. Septic inspection always if you have a septic. And that's something that could be coming
And
down
water
soon.
sources, like where's your water coming from?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Or like
Drinking water
zoning.
irrigation.
What can we do with it?
And that's a good thing.
Can
Speaking
we
of
get a tax
conservation.
break in like agricultural if we put like a cow or two on it?
Yeah, if you make money off of it.
Well, there you go. Helping out people one cow at a time. So let's not skip the land. Use some research. One town's ranch with potential is another town can't build here unless you win a permit lottery, which is so true.
True. Oh my gosh,
Oh
it
my
is so
God.
true.
Getting those
The permits.
permits is hot.
My papa did not think that he should have to get permits because it was his own land. He's like, it's mine. I can do what I want with it. And then they would shut him down. He had a quarry.
I understand the thought process. I get it.
Yeah.
It is our land. We should do what we want with it.
But we've been on the other
However,
side.
Yes.
And it's like when you go into something that you know is DIY.
Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
And then having to tell people, potential buyers and their brokers, and especially when they're like, is that permitted? And you have to go, no.
So
it's
your
not.
5,000 square foot house just went down to 800 because that's all that was permitted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we're back to the assessor site, baby.
Oh my gosh. Craziness. Okay.
Crazy.
Unfiltered closings.
Okay, next seckie. Time for some unfiltered closings this week. Okay. We got a good one. Title of today's tale. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Don't trust the tap.
Oh my gosh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ugh.
Water in the Western Slope is real deal shit. We mentioned it a little bit in episode 1.
Yeah.
But it's going to be mentioned a theme for our podcast because it's so important.
Because we deal with it.
Water woes.
Literally on every deal.
Literally.
Yeah, all the time.
Literally.
So the buyers fell in love with this super cute fixer-upper in Cedar Edge. Mountain views, cozy wood stove, and what they thought was a working well.
What? What do you mean they thought?
Well,
Who's doing research over there?
they didn't use us.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. So plot twist. Mm-hmm. Tell me the plot twist.
The well had not worked since 2003.
Shut up.
Yeah.
How could they not figure that
The
out?
seller never used it. So they hauled water, but the agent, guess what they forgot?
They didn't verify that information? Oh, see, this is why we double. What did they say? We learned it today on Red Day. Measure twice, cut once.
That's right.
We researched twice. Mm-hmm. I need to at least hear 2 people tell me, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
talk
that's
to
true.
the neighbors. You want to get the real lowdown, go and talk to the neighbors because they are going to spill the tea.
That actually just happened up on the Mesa where there was a house that was listed and there was meth, again, being used in this house and it was not disclosed. No remediation was needed there because it wasn't being manufactured in there. But, of course, you might want to think about it even if people are getting... It is chemicals, people.
Yeah.
Hello. So, yeah, wild. Disclosed. But guess how they found out, the new buyers?
I don't know.
Knock, knock, knock. The neighbor came over.
I'm telling you.
And was like, guess what was going on in this house?
Yeah. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Karen. Okay, so the deal nearly tanked. The buyers backed out. Seller cried. I drank some wine.
Oh, my God, I believe it.
Then, boom. New buyer came in with a cistern plan that actually worked.
See, cisterns can be really good.
Yeah. You know, I hauled water when I lived in Craig. It was not a big deal. It really wasn't.
So many people haul water out here.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this. I've never had a buyer come and tell me they want to return their house or don't love living there because they have to haul water.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I haven't had one person.
You really do become very conscientious of how you use water.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a big deal, honestly.
You know, I just sold a property up in Molina, and it's near a spring. There's a bunch of springs up there, and it does have a well. However, sometimes the well can run dry. So he has a hauling truck and a water tank, so that way he can go to Colburn, down to the water where you fill your water up, the little water supply, and then haul it if he needs extra water.
Yeah.
So it's pretty normal where we live to haul your water.
Well, and on Little Park Road, I know that there's a water company. They'll do family shares where 5 families will go in and they'll just order a huge semi and the guy brings it all up.
I love that.
So you don't even have to haul your own. You can pay someone to do it.
Look at that.
So do not discount a property.
Not harder.
But do check your well.
Do check your well and pull the right permits.
Yeah,
sometimes people don't put their new buyers in the well permit. The listing I just had in Colburn, in Colburn, I'm lucky I pulled that well permit when I was doing my listing due diligence because the well wasn't even in their name.
Oh my gosh.
It was in the last guy's name still. So I had to call title, and title had to work with my sellers and then put it in their name. And luckily we did all that before
we listed diligence.
See what I mean? This
Double
is why
D,
you should
baby.
do us. Every day. Every day. So what is the moral of that story? Verify every utility.
Yeah.
Even if they tell you it's working. Is it? Let's test it. Especially those sweet little towns where handshake deals and decade-old disclosures are so real and still so alive and well. I do handshake deals all the time. That's not that big of a deal to me. It's when We go into our buyers are liars, where they're not being
my gosh,
honest about
yes.
some things, right? We see it a lot, and then we're like, oh no,
Yeah.
Mr. Seller.
And they're like, "Oh, I forgot about that. You didn't forget anything.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I know that you know.
I know
and
that
I
you
know
shook
that
that
you know
guy's
that I
hand.
know
Yeah,
for sure.
that's right.
Okay, deal or disaster?
Deal or disaster? Okay.
You had a disaster.
Well, yes and no. So the house itself was not a disaster. It was so cute, and the people moving in, it was going to be fabulous. It was out in Mac, 5 acres, so cute. However, walking the property and making sure that we walk things, we started noticing all of these buckets, like 5-gallon Home Depot buckets, dead ass,
Just
all
like
over.
sitting all over.
Just thrown about.
Oh my gosh.
On the property, and we're like, interesting, that's so weird. Then turns out the seller wasn't living there, they had renters on it. A renter had makeshift a shed, I want to use it was a shed,
Okay.
into a living space and made a makeshift bathroom, and apparently he was using those buckets. So,
Composting toilet.
composting toilet.
Ugh.
Whatever it was, but there was like 100 buckets back there. I'm not even like, I can't make this up.
You
So
can't make this
then-
shit up.
Then I get a call from my client. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. I'm like, hello? She's like, hey, have you been on Facebook recently? Because, of course, what did we ask them to do? Get rid of the buckets.
Right.
Because that's not fair. I'm not going to have my new people.
You got to get rid of your shit.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
take that with you. That's something we're not going to touch. And my clients were pregnant at the time. And I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm letting that lady go out there like that.
No.
Unbelievable. We're not that's a hazard if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. For
A
sure.
biohazard if I've ever seen one. So, turns out the seller put it on Facebook, free compost buckets. Come get them.
No.
I'm serious.
No.
I'm so
Oh
serious.
my gosh.
I even had to send a picture to my supervising broker and be like, what is going on? How do I
Oh my
navigate
gosh.
through the shit?
Literally.
But moral of the story, we got them off the property.
Okay.
My buyers were able to move in, did really, really well.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a brand new septic system for their little house that worked.
Oh, that's good.
Wonderful. We got it pumped, even though it was new, but we just don't know because there's renters. And
You gotta
sometimes
inspect
renters
it.
don't know what to put down there. And you have to be careful, right? So we went ahead and got it pumped for her. But it was a disaster there for
Oh
a
my
second.
gosh.
It was unhinged.
So don't ever get composting buckets for free off of Facebook is what I learned from that.
Don't believe it if it says free compost.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now the deal in Mac, because you're in my AO.
Yeah, let's go.
So I had been driving by and looking for a property for a client, and he loved our area. And so I saw this house, and I thought it had come up for auction or had been, or, there was some commotion going on around it.
Okay.
So then I noticed some work tools outside, power tools, all the stuff that my dad doesn't let me touch. Yeah. So anyway, so I went over there, I pulled deeds and found it and called the guy, and he was going to sell it. It had not hit the market. So we got it for $375.
Whoa.
And it was a modular, and it was only a couple years old, and it's on acreage. On like 7 acres.
Whoa.
And we got it for $375. If it would have hit the market, it would have gone for at least $450 to $500.
I believe it.
So it's a killer deal. He moved in. He's building a deck, a fence around it. He's done a lot of grading, which is pretty handy because we have an excavating company. So he just grabs our equipment and does it. Anyway, it's amazing.
And this
it was
is a
deal.
no for if you are looking for realtors.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure your person is looking for you, not on the market, because sometimes the house isn't on the market.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Right?
literally saved at least $75,000 to $100,000.
And how many deals do we get houses under contract before they even hit the market just because we're talking about it in the office?
Yeah, and because we're watching and seeing what's out there, and we're boots on the ground, baby.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, what a good. So now moving into our next, we're adding a new segment.
Oh.
I'm so excited. Are you
I am
ready for
too.
the name?
Yes.
Sassy Stats.
Oh my gosh, I love
love a
it.
good
I love
alliteration.
it. Okay, Okay, so
what do we have for us?
in the past week, we have had 52 residential properties close.
In the last 7 days, y'all.
Yeah.
What?
Oh my gosh.
52?
Yeah. It's getting hot up in here.
You know what I read about those 52? The highest price on them, I think
Yeah.
it was like 1.3 or some shit.
Yeah.
It was high.
And the median is 427.5.
Would you believe it if I told you Grand Junction is selling $1 million homes like every week?
Oh, like hotcakes.
Wild. It's actually one of the fastest moving price ranges. Like it's
so
faster
crazy.
than the 500 right now.
I know.
Which 500
blows
is
my mind.
sitting.
Yeah.
If you're looking in the 500, look at
Killer
Keller
deals.
Williams listings right now. There are
Killer.
killer deals out there.
Brittany Ginn, Serena Gehring. Check those out.
Keller Williams, Colorado West Realty. But other people, like our girl Regina Stout has a great one in that price range.
She does. And that one, that is a deal. We need to, we're going to talk about that next time.
Yeah.
Because that's a killer deal.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's going on Deal or Disaster next week. Okay.
All right.
So now our neighborly sip. This week's neighborly sip is going to go to 133 Burger. Do you remember that little cute joint we ate at in Hotchkiss last year?
Yes, that was adorable.
Yes.
And it was actually really good.
I don't even like
Super quaint.
hamburgers, and I
know.
loved it.
Super quaint.
Yeah, friendly people.
Yep, that's right. So if
Yeah.
you want to grab a burger, over here 3 land deals, and maybe even meet the seller before the listing hits the internet, that's small town power right there.
Oh, for sure. For
That
sure.
is literal magic.
Yep. Okay, everyone. That is episode 2 of Western Slope Realty.
What?
We covered famous musicians.
Who knew? Right
Snooker.
there in Colorado.
Oh, yeah. Fixer-uppers.
Oof,
Failed wells.
Yeah, done.
All in the same show. Try doing that in Denver.
Yeah, what's up? Next week, though, come back because we have the truth about ranch land, what nobody tells you about your fences, flood irrigation, and financing 40 acres of tumbleweed.
Oh, for real.
But it's not really
real.
tumbleweed. It's like alfalfa.
Oh, depends on where you're at. Like, we got the tumbleweeds, we got the rich dirt, we've got vineyards, orchards, we've got it all. So subscribe, follow, and send this to that one friend who thinks they want to homestead but has never seen a ditch share in their life.
Oh my God, that's the best. Look up primary and junior while you're at it. Catch you next week, and remember, don't sip that Kool-Aid. Sip the real tea.
That's right. Yay. Oh my gosh, so good.